Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review. I'm here today to talk to you about The Last of Us, episode 5, Endure and Survive. So this episode came out early on Friday because of the Super Bowl on Sunday, and HBO is kind of like, we're just not gonna risk it. But finally, and I do mean finally, we get some zombie action and tons of it, thank God. I've been wanting action in this show for a long time because I like my zombie action and I just like action in general. And so this was yet again another great episode where it really made you feel something. You really got that emotional feel between the characters and sadness at the end. I was so shocked and surprised because normally I don't really react in a shocked manner with something funny. I'll laugh. It's like a lot of good action. Like, I'm feeling like, yeah, like whoop that behind and everything. But I normally don't get shocked when my eyes get like bugged out and my jaw just like drops. And it did. And I'm very shocked at what I saw. But apparently this happens in the game too. I found afterwards after watching this episode. And I really gotta give it up to the acting in this. Like, Bella is just like, I've always been so proud of Bella, man. Ever since the worst witch and everything. Like I was sad when she left the show in this last season, and then I saw her like very briefly in like his Dark Material. But here, man, this is like one of my like all time. Well, I don't know if I could say all one of my all time favorite performances. I need to rewatch The Worst Witch. But that's when she was like, younger and like, just like a kid show and stuff like that. But here she does an amazing job at acting, and I'm like so happy, so proud to be like a fan of hers and stuff like that. But it's weird, man. She's 19 years old, but she looks like she's 12 on the show. Like she looks like she's 12 and everything. Cause she has such a youthful like appearance. To be young again. God, how I miss that. Like, oh man, when you get older, everything's in pain. Like my knee hurts for some bizarre reason. I didn't even do nothing. I think I got like on a step ladder and that messed my knee up. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I think I messed my leg up earlier when I squatted down to pick up a package and stuff. Like you're supposed to squat, not bend, and I ended up hurting myself squatting. It felt like the bone was ripping out my flesh and like my calf area and stuff. But yeah, she looks like she's 12 years old. But in her acting in this episode, she acted like she was like 8 or something or 5 when she was like interacting with Sam because they de-age Sam and everything. And so we finally get to meet Sam. Oh, excuse me, I had to yawn. Oh, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. We finally got to meet Sam and Henry and stuff. And, we finally get to find out what pissed Catherine off so bad. Man, Catherine. God, I have to get into that at some point. Like, like, I like the actress. I'm just not feeling it. She's so sweet and kind, and her voice is so sweet and kind. I don't get it. Like, how did they get the casting wrong on this? And stuff. And so, like, it starts off and it's just like Henry and Sam and what they're doing and why Catherine's so pissed because she's interrogating a bunch of people who basically are snitches and everything. They sold their neighbors out to federal for like, supplies, food, medicine. And so she don't like that because her brother got ratted out and was tortured and killed and stuff. And so she just wants to straight up murder these people. But she wants to know where Henry and them are at. But they say like, yo, we don't know and everything. So then it's kind of like, oh, ain't no point keeping you alive. But then one of them decides he's gonna snitch. And so she's starting to get a lead on where they're at and stuff. And like she even, I think she calls him a rat or a snitch. She calls that dude something. So it's kind of like, these people are not good because they literally ratted out people and stuff just for like a little bit of extra stuff. But then when you see the hunters, they are no better. They act like savages and everything, especially out in the street. Some like freedom fighters are just like so rogue. And when it comes to Catherine, she's talking to her right hand dude. She's talking about like, how'd he find her and stuff, and he said, your mom told me you'll be in your old room, and we never get to see her mom. And so like talking about how her and Michael, spent time here because like a bunk bed and stuff like that. And it's kind of like, I don't get this thing. Why do people follow her? Because they keep talking about how Michael was such a great dude and then Henry betrayed him. But the right hand dude literally states that, things didn't get done until Catherine made stuff happen. So technically Henry just sucked. Not Henry, but Michael just sucked. And he was even in like prison and stuff. So I don't understand why he's such this great visionary person, but Catherine is literally blinded by like revenge and stuff. She cannot see past her own needs. Every time her right hand man's all like, "Yo, we need to do this, we need to do that. We can use our resources best." Like, no, gotta find Henry and Sam. I'm just like, I don't get why people follow this woman, because the thing about her is, nothing against the actress whatsoever. A leader has to have that commanding, dominant voice. They have to have that grit. They have to have that edge. She has none of that. She has a little bit of edge because she's a little pissy, but she has no grit. And she has no commanding voice. I don't understand how casting did that. It's like they wanted the sweetest person and want to show, hey, look, this person, sweet as sugar, is actually mean and ruthless. Yes, she does some mean and ruthless stuff and talks about like killing kids and everything, but you just don't feel it because she's so sweet as sugar. Now, I felt bad for this actress. She had to defend herself last week. To who? A former celebrity, a celebrity who hasn't been heard from in over a decade. I think her name is Adrienne Curry. I first knew of her from The Surreal Life. She was on Next Top Model. She was on The Surreal Life, and she fell in love with one of the Brady brothers from the Brady Bunch. But he didn't want nothing to do with her because she was such an irritating person, and she basically just kept throwing herself at him, and he just didn't want her. Well, she finally like wielded him down to the part where after the reality show, they dated, got married, then they divorced. And so like basically what happened was, because I didn't even know this had happened, but this one actress who is like a bigger lady, she commented on it, and that's how I knew of it, because I don't follow Adrian, what was her name, Curry, or like, the actress from The Last of Us. I don't follow neither one of them. And so like, basically she made fun of the Catherine lady's weight. I think her name is Monica something or something like that. And I'm just kind of like, whoa, that's like a huge low blow. Like, why are you going to give her something like that for? Like, why are you going to make fun of the lady's weight? The lady's weight has nothing to do with her performance or the acting or nothing like that, But basically, she just went on to say something about like, this is an apocalypse. And, she's supposed to be like this, like warlord type leader, but yet she's so heavy set and big. And I'm just kind of like, well, what the world that guy do with anything? And has she ever watched any kind of like, sci-fi post-apocalyptic stuff? A warlord can come in any gender, any size. They can be skinny. They have been big and other stuff. So I don't get what she's complaining about. So a lot of people attacked her. What did she do? Double down. She's all like, I'm only talking about the character, blah, 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 blah. So I'm not apologizing to the character. But she's not talking about the character. She's talking literally about the actress, and she literally talked about like the casting. Now I can talk all I want about how this woman doesn't have a commanding, dominant voice, because she doesn't. And that's good criticism right there, because she's supposed to be a warlord. But talking about the lady's weight is just messed up. Now, of course, because this woman used to be a former model, she's all about my battery died. So she's just all about being like the whole skinny thing. You know, she's a former model. Like she even said in an interview once that she gained, or she was 150 pounds, and she literally would not leave the house until she lost it. Really, 150 pounds, that's what she complained about? That's big to her, and why she hid herself from the world? Like, so that mentality is stuck in her brain from like her modeling days and society in general. Society thinks the only way you can be happy is to be skinny. But there are a lot of like, you know, heavyset people that are getting down with their bad self and stuff, you know? And so it's kind of like, I feel bad for her, because she's literally been brainwashed ever since she was younger to think skinny is okay and everything is not. But she just coming out as a complete douchebag, attacking somebody for no apparent reason. And this woman always gives her 2 cents on everything, from celebrities to TV shows to politics and everything. She's just become one of those bitter, unlikable people. But apparently her acting's not all that great, because Hollywood stopped the calling about a decade ago and stuff. She doesn't even do reality TV no more. It's like literally people forgot who she was until this comment. And I remember when I saw her screen, I'm just like, that name sounds familiar. And I'm like, oh wait, it can't be her. Like the only thing I remember about her is that she was an American Top Next Model, the Surreal World. People ate off her naked body. She fell in love with that Brady dude, got married, got divorced, did some cosplay stuff at like conventions, and that is it. And so she is literally just bitter that this woman who is heavier set is still getting acting roles and she isn't. Oh, seriously though. It's like, but it's kind of like, you know, she literally spends her time just constantly commenting on crap. Like she has nothing to do in her life. And it's really sad and pathetic if you ask me. And it's sad even more for the actress who's getting made fun of, because she has literally come out years ago talking about her weight, because people keep talking about her weight. It goes up, it goes down, she gets a little bigger. And why are skinny people obsessed with like bigger people? I do not understand. And even bigger people are obsessed with bigger people. They'll make fun of them knowing they're big themselves. I don't get it. But more importantly, it's women. It's the bigger women who are always getting attacked. Big guys do too, but a big guy is less likely to get attacked for his weight than a female is and stuff. I just really don't understand it. And so, like, you know, Sam and Henry, so back to the show. So, you know, they're sneaking around with the doctor dude, and he's getting them food and everything. They got about like 10 or 11 days left. Well, they run out in 10 days, and the doctor goes looking for more food. But he doesn't come back, letting them know that the dude is probably dead or captured. So when they try to like escape, they see that of Joel and Ellie getting shot at in the last episode, and that lets Henry know that, hey, they're not working for Catherine and we can get on out of here with them. So that's when they sneak up on them, and you know, they not really take them hostage, but you know, they basically, Henry lays it down like, yo man, look, I can help y'all help me, we get out the city. Henry has a foolproof plan, but it's risky though, very, very risky. Somehow Joel's kind of like, all right, fine. Joel just like accepts this dude and everything. They tell each other a little bit about themselves, especially like Henry, and cause you know, he's all like, he used to be a snitch, and Joel doesn't want to have anything to do with that, because Joel knows what stitches are like, and he knows helping Fedra, because he used to like, you know, smuggle stuff in. But anyway, they're going to go along with the plan. And the plan is to go down into the tunnel system, because Fedra drove all the infected down below, so nobody goes down there. It's the only safe way to get away from all the gunfire. But of course, there's infected down there. That's what all the rumbling was in the last episode with that crater type thing, that little sinkhole that Catherine, Miss Leader, does not want to deal with, which she should have dealt with, and she will find out why in this episode. So I don't understand why they're following a lady who doesn't want to listen and who keeps making tons of mistakes. And so, like, while this is all going on, Ellie and Sam are like totally bonding, because she finally has somebody around her age to hang with, kinda. In the game, they're the same age, but here he's 8 years old, and they made him deaf. And it makes for a whole lot more touching interaction between the two, and him having to write down his little pad and stuff like that. And it's also nice to see more like deaf people getting jobs in Hollywood. I know this is something that has been going on quite recently a lot more. And it's thanks to like woke culture in Hollywood and everything, opening doors to people who normally don't get roles and stuff, which is great. I just wish Idris Elba would understand that. Boy, I can't believe that man lit Twitter on fire today. He don't consider himself a black actor, but that's what he is. He's black, he acts, he's a black actor. Period. Anyways, and so they make their way down to the tunnel, and then they go to like this place that looks almost like a nursery. There's like all these drawings everywhere, there are toys down there, and this is because of the game. Now, it's never stated in the show, but in the game, like, the hunters don't like kids. They consider them weak. It's survival of the fittest and everything. And so they make all the kids go down below. Now, this is probably evident, but they didn't want to say nothing. Now, around all this time, there's still no action going on. There's supposed to be a scuffle between, like, Sam, Henry, what's the name, Ellie, and Joel, but this does not happen in the show. So it kind of bugs me that it's bleak on acting and everything. And I'm just kind of like, not acting, but action. And I'm just kind of like, come on now. Like, where's it at? Like, give me some action. And so, like, after Henry confesses about what he did to Michael and how he sold him out, Joel is kind of like, all right, we're done, like, sitting, it's time to go. Basically, what happened was Henry liked Michael. He thought he was like a cool dude and everything, like a nice visionary type person. But he sold him out. Why? Because Sam needed insulin or leukemia medicine, I think. And so, he sold Michael out for the medicine, which I totally understand. His brother needed that medicine and everything, But it sucks he had to snitch for it. And so because of that, Michael is dead and Catherine wants her revenge. And so when they're walking around at night, Sam wants to know why they can't use the lights. And it's because, it was trap people, but they're talking so loud. They're talking so loud that a dude in like an abandoned house hears them and he starts shooting at them. He tells the kids, wait by the car and everything. And then he runs up behind the house and then he gets inside. And then he tells the old man, like, look, man, don't you reach for that rifle. Well, he reaches for it and then we see him get shot off screen. Couldn't even show us that. Like, really? Couldn't even show the old man getting shot. But he already radioed Catherine. Here comes the cavalry and their big old trucks and plow machines. This is where all the action's coming. Joel's just kind of waiting for his opportune moment while the kids are trying to get away from that of Catherine. But Catherine finally, goats Henry into like revealing himself. He's all like, look, just let the kids go and everything. She's like, yo, I can't because that girl's with the dude who killed her friend and everything. And so then they start talking and we see just how nasty Catherine is. She basically pulls a Vanessa Hudgens moment. Basically, she's all like, kids die all the time. It doesn't matter if these kids die and everything, and people die, blah, 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 blah. Who said some cold mess like that? Why did I mention the Disney Channel girl, Vanessa Hudgens? Is because during the pandemic, during the start of it, Coachella was about to happen. It got canceled, and she's all like, "Why you gonna cancel Coachella? Like people die every day." And I'm like, "You brain dead idiot, you!" Like seriously, people are dying, dropping like flies, and you want to get drunk and high. Like seriously, get drunk and high on your own time and listen to some music at your home. Like you don't need to go to no concert and people are dying and everything. I swear to God. Just like that one lady, what is it, Angela Evelyn Lilly or something like that? The lady who plays Wasp from like the Ant-Man movies. She was the same crappy way, man. Didn't want to stay in her home because she's a celebrity and she can do whatever she wants. And so basically Catherine is just being cold hearted. But then all of a sudden, something catches Joel's attention. One of the cars sinks into the ground because of all the sinkholes and everything. And this is what the number one dude tried to tell Catherine. Next thing you know, it is hundreds of zombies coming out the ground running really fast. I'm like, oh crap. And they was running with the fury. Some of it looked a little hokey, like CGI-ish, because it was CGI. Some of it looked good, and the other ones just looked a little bit CGI-ish, with that flames and everything. You could tell it was CGI. So the people again attack one by one. They're shooting and everything, and we finally get some action. I needed this so badly, and I needed some zombie action. So people getting ripped up, people getting punched, and everything getting ate. And then so Joel is like, snipering people. So Sam and Henry, they take off and they run. And Ellie is like, having to dodge like zombies. She's having to dodge gunfire. She had to dodge a speeding car that came near her. And you could see the fear on Ellie's face and everything. Which Bella does a great job of being scared. Mainly because she said that's how she is in real life. Like when she was on Jimmy Kimmel or Fallon, I can't remember which one. They all like, how would you do during like a zombie apocalypse? She's like, oh, I'll be scared and everything. I'll just stay like completely like still because, she, suffered from like mental illness while she left like the worst witch and, other stuff like that. So she was selling it like a wrestler, man. And so she hops in like a car. She always can crawl through a hole. Like she's so tiny and stuff. But she has that big coat on, so I don't know how she could squeeze through. And so like this little zombie girl just comes through the car with her little fungus, like, mushroom head and everything, flipping around inside the car and everything. Well, anyway, she sees Sam and Henry are in danger. They're underneath a car. Oh, the bloaters showed up finally. It's about time. They can last about like 20 something years and they're super infected and super fat. And so it was just like punching people. It was punching the snot rockets out of people. That part looked very CGI hokey and stuff. And that's basically all we get with the bloater. I think he eats somebody or something like that. The right hand man. So we don't even get that much time with him. Like, do you remember in The Walking Dead season 2, that really bloated zombie that was in the well? We got more time with him than we did with the bloater. So she rescues Sam and she rescues Henry. She stabs the infected, like one in the shoulder. Is that supposed to kill it? Because she didn't stab it in the head. Like, what are the actual zombie killing rules here? And so Joel is sniping people, and then they make their way inside until here comes Catherine again, and she's ready to shoot. And so Joel, I think the gun got jammed or something like that. But here comes the little zombie girl jumping through the air and took Catherine out. I'm all like, really? You took the villain out already? And so, but she got her comeuppance, man. Seriously. because it's funny she got taken out by a kid because talking about the kids die all the time, and then the kids got like taken down below, and so she got her comeuppance, man. It was about freaking time. But I don't know, man. I'm just not sold on her edginess, and it kind of sucks that the villain is gone already. So they make their way into the house. Everybody's dealing with the infected, and so they make their way out the house, and then they later find like an abandoned hotel. And so during this time, Joel and Henry are like talking, and Joel's opening up and like, where we're going, we're gonna be walking, but you're more than welcome to come. I thought Joel was supposed to be this bad, evil dude. Like, I don't see it. I just don't see it. And so during this time, we get the most touching moments ever with Bella and that of Henry. Not Henry, but Sam. They're really bonding. You can feel that connection, like it's real. Like, the older kid hanging out with the little kid and everything, talking about comics and stuff. And he's constantly writing to her and she's writing back. And, he asked her straight up, you never look scared and everything. But she says she's scared all the time. And she's scared of being like alone, being like the only person left and stuff. And so then he asked her, you get bit, do you still stay the same person inside? Or you just turn into like a monster? And he shows her he is infected. I was shocked and surprised, like, no, like he's so cool and everything. And so one thing I've been wondering, like when Catherine got bit or something like that, and with Ellie being immune, I always wondered, will this be like a Van Helsing thing where her blood will turn the infected back to normal? But I think she got bit before and it didn't happen. So not like that. But it happens in Van Helsing. And it also happens in Underworld where, somebody like a vampire is dying, you get them your blood, and then they heal themselves. So she's all like, my blood is medicine. So she cuts her hand and she rubs her blood on his affected ankle, and he wants her to stay up all night with her. And she says she'll do it, but she falls asleep. And when she falls asleep, he's just sitting there still. I'm all like, man, I can see this coming a mile away. I watch too many zombie stuff. He turns around and he tries to eat her. And Bella sells it again. She's screaming, she's hollering, she's running to the other room. And Henry is so upset. He wrestles with the gun from Joel and everything, gets it away from him before Joel can get it. And then he points the gun at Joel. And then he takes Sam out. Now, they show that kill. They showed a little kid getting plugged. And I'm all like, you couldn't show the old man getting plugged. And so, but they showed the little kid getting shot. So at this point in time, Henry is really upset. He's all like, what did I do? What did I do? And so I'm like, oh no, he's going to do it. I can see that a mile away too. And he blows his brains out. I'm like, no, not Sam and Henry. They were cool characters, kind of like Bill and Fred and stuff. And I hate this. Also, how are people going to really react to this? Like, one of the things about Hollywood that people hate is, especially in horror movies, they hate seeing like the black people die first. They hate seeing the women die, and they hate seeing like the LGBT die. Now in this like show based on a video game, we had the woman taken out first. We then had the gay couple taken out, and now we get the black siblings taken out. I'm just kind of like, this is like Hollywood 101, what you don't want to do. And so I wonder how people are going to react to that, because they're always some of the ones that always end up dying. And so this really takes a toll on Ellie and everything. To when they're burying them, she writes, I'm sorry, and puts it on the grave, that little tablet thing. And then she gets kind of like fidgety, not fidgety, but grumpy and everything, and she just doesn't really want to talk, and she just walks off from Joel and tells him, are you coming and everything, because he's still just like standing there wondering, like, dude, like, how is she gonna like cope with this and everything. And she's not coping with this very well. She's getting kind of like dark, and not only that, but like people that she cares about are like constantly dying. And it's really sucks that like she had to lose like a friend and everything, a first test, and now Sam and Henry, especially Sam. And it was funny because Henry, with the more bonding stuff, when he was talking to like the group, he thought they was like father and daughter, and they both at the same time all like we're not father and daughter and stuff. And 'cause that's what they're building up to. That's how eventually he's gonna see her and stuff. And he cares for Ellie in this short time they've known each other, and now he wants to help her deal with this, but he doesn't know how probably he's going to do it because she doesn't want to open up. Not to mention she has broken all of his rules, and he doesn't seem to care. And so I don't understand that. I thought he's supposed to be this big grumpy dude, but he's not. And so, yeah, I'm glad this episode came out early. I did not want to wait for Sunday. It was a really good episode and stuff. We finally got some zombie action. The bloater did not last that long on the show, but we got some cool stuff. And it's like finally Catherine got her upcomings and everything. Or come-uppings or whatever you call it. Now, as for Adrienne Curry, that's her name, Adrienne Curry. After making fun, I think her name is Melanie Liniski. I don't know her name. She deleted her Twitter account. It's like, because she kept doubling down more and more and more, trying to justify making fun of that woman's weight. She literally deleted her like Twitter account because she couldn't handle the backlash. And seriously, man, why open your mouth and cause an uproar? It's like, yeah, you have the right to say whatever you want, but I don't mean you have to say it and cause an uproar and everything. I just don't get it. But yeah, I guess she'll disappear for another 10 years or something. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.